Ever get any money from Costello?
No.
And did you ever get any money from Meyer Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those
None
fellas?
of those fellas. None of these that I've been reading about, or none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Shetties?
No.
You
I
think-
don't even speak to the... I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
I was conscious of the fact that he had a reputation for being an outstanding bookmaker.
You ever hear him referred to as the Prime Minister of the Underworld?
That term I did not.
Also known as Duck Corella. I refuse to answer on the grounds of indefensive. You got any business? I refuse to answer on the grounds of offensive criminal. You have any profession? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made offensive. Have any occupation? I refuse to answer on the grounds of made offensive. Are you a known racket?
Was one policeman testify for me, sir?
Yes. He alibied you, didn't he?
I beg your pardon?
An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.
Welcome, folks. It is Friday night. It's time for the grand jury again. The live stream where we take the grand jury and kind of do it like a game show. We're going to present police use of force videos of officers using force. We see these all the time, and we're going to break them down. We've got 5 volunteers from the social media platform X. They come on. I get new volunteers each week. They can't come on. We subject them to watching these videos, and we ask them to look at them in a certain kind of way as a grand jury, through the lens of a grand jury. So super thankful to have our volunteers tonight. I will say that, let me put this out. This show is not intended for anything other than educational and entertainment purposes. Nothing is to be construed as legal advice. It's all opinion, and quite frankly, it's probably not opinion you'd want to take to the bank. But let's go to our panel tonight. Tonight we've got drop the panels there for me. There we go. So we've got Salty on X. Salty, tell us what folks need to know about you and your social media platform. You do a lot of X spaces. I know that.
Yes, I do. I'm a political junkie, hardcore conservative. We co-host with Nathan, who's here, host with him a lot. We just have a lot of fun, break down the topics of the day, and just try to pull the layers off the sources and get to the truth of it all. But so happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
Well, we're thankful to have you. We appreciate you spending your Friday evening with us. Nathan, also on X, folks, give him a follow, but I catch him in spaces all the time. Always has a very unique view. But Nathan, what would you like the world to know about you, besides that you have the best looking, you're the best looking male on the panel tonight, besides myself, of course.
Don't make my wife jealous. I am Nathan Bailey. Me and we host spaces together, the Conservative Hour. We are conservative, but our space is open to anyone that's willing to use their voice. We really want to give people an opportunity to speak, because I think that we've stopped speaking to each other and talking to each other, and I think that's very bad for society. And other than that, I'm a Ravens fan, Manchester United fan, and and my wife. You stop it.
That's y'all call that football, but it's really not, right?
The British call it football. I still call it soccer. Don't tell anybody.
Your fancy's hanging out. Let's go to the Real Dana. Real Dana is a firecracker on X Spaces, folks. If you've never caught one of her spaces, it's if you won't learn something, you're probably your mic's not, or your earpiece is not working, but you'll absolutely she keeps you entertained. Welcome, Dana. What do folks need to know about you?
Hi. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. So I also have a YouTube channel. It's called The Real Dana on YouTube. And I'm not a liberal, not a Democrat. I am a Republican. Some people think I'm a conservative, I guess. However, I just like to talk about politics, a little bit of law, because me and the judge do a show together, and pop culture. So, and I'm excited about being here tonight. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Real Dana, check it out. And that's it.
Thank you, Real Dana. And we have Mermies. Mermies on her profile says she's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and she makes some mentions about Dory and a few other things from the fish cartoon. But I learned today that she really is in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Mermaids, what do folks need to know about you?
Well, I swim in the clean ocean, number one. I always crack on the East Coast. I'm like, oh, you swim in the dirty ocean. So just to get everyone riled up, because I think it's funny. But I used to, host spaces once in a while only to tell dad jokes, because my deal is you got to have a big belly laugh every day, like the kind where you're going to cry, fall on the floor, you can't stop laughing, because it changes your brain chemistry. So it'll make you in a good mood, just like the ocean does. But that's laughter is food for the soul, and we just got to get back to, yes, we're all human beings first. Like, come on now, stop being like that. Just laugh, and I think comedy heals too. So that's my deal. Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you, Mermaids. Thank you. And now we have London. I caught London talking in a space. I believe it was Salty and Nathan's space. And she had some really interesting points of view. And I kind of almost sarcastically said, hey, you should join the grand jury. And then here she is. Welcome, London. What do folks need to know about you?
Well, first off, I didn't know you were being sarcastic. I don't really know how to take that. But okay.
I think it was almost sarcastic, like didn't know that you would actually take me up on the offer. So I'm happy that you did.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then there we go. I was like, I don't know. What did I say? That was dumb. But anyway, well, I guess I'm an adult content creator, but I kind of, at this point, I'm in Nathan and Salty's spaces every once in a while. I run my own from time to time, but on Wednesday evenings, but mostly I just kind of tag along with them.
Awesome. And thank you, folks. Every one of you, we talk about the folks that run the show. We talk about this quite a bit, how thankful we are that we can get fresh new faces in here each week of some great caliber. So great panel tonight for everyone. Just like every grand jury, we've got expert witnesses. We've got Jason. He's a 30-year veteran of law enforcement, just recently retired, like literally recently. He hadn't grown a beard out yet. But Jason's going to be our expert witness tonight. Jason, real quick, anything you want folks to know about you?
Kind of ran the gauntlet through law enforcement, from patrol to school resource officer to narcotics, active shooter instructor, sergeant, lieutenant, investigations. Kind of been there, done that. Happy to be retired.
Absolutely. And we've got actually Moni in here. Moni, I don't think it's going to be much of an expert witness. There could be something that pops up. She could be, but she is a big supporter of the show, and she's going to just sit and hold that seat tonight. But Moni, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hey, everyone. I got on X a few years ago advocating for J6ers with Shelley. It rolled into finding Joe's group and advocating for Dexter Taylor. And I'm a big fan of the show and a big fan of Joe Brown's. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to have you. And Big Ron down there, Navy veteran, he's going to be pushing all the switches and watching all the time tonight as a producer. You want to say hi, Big Ron?
Hey, thanks, Joe. Welcome to the show, everybody. Yep, I'll be your local button pusher tonight. Looks like we've got a full jury. All the videos are loaded. So I think we're going to have a good show tonight, Joe.
With all the introductions out of the way, let's get down to some business. Now, tonight is a special night. It's a special episode for us, and we are all super excited about it, and we've been vibrating with excitement all week. We have a special prosecutor. It is the Judge Joe Brown. So let me introduce the judge himself. He's going to present cases tonight. Welcome, Judge. We're super happy to have you.
Well, I'm very pleased to accept the invitation. I've done this for more than a half century on all sides of this, from being a prosecutor to a defense attorney to be a presiding criminal court judge. And we're going to deal with some moot matters, meaning that there will be no official consequences, but I'm here because I think the American public needs to be educated and understand its system. There's so much misinformation that's being bandied around that causes us to go astray from a system of government and law that is in our best interest. So you can catch me on X at Judge Joe Brown TV. And some of you may have seen what I did as an arbitrator who was televised for 15 years. So let's get it on. And I trust things will go smoothly.
They'll go one way or another, and we'll have a good time doing it, Judge. We appreciate you here. First thing we need to do, we probably need to instruct our grand jurors about what a grand jury is. There's a difference of a standard of proof that's at that level. Do you want to explain probable cause to these fine folks?
I will do that. The grand jury is an English invention, and it was to keep the crown from abusing the citizens or the subjects. So they were supposed to be an intermediary between the power of the sovereign and the ordinary subject. Now, in the United States, we have continued that, though to a great extent, the grand juries almost act like rubber stamps. But what your job is to determine probable cause. Probable cause is not determining guilt in these matters, because that standard is beyond a reasonable doubt. You are here to determine whether there is probable cause. Now, guilt in a criminal sense must be established beyond a reasonable doubt. You're here to establish probable cause, which is simply the standard that says more likely than not a crime has been committed that would require somebody answer to the authorities of the state to determine whether or not something against the public peace, dignity, and order has been done. And you will be hearing one side of the case. There will be no defense, and you will listen to what is going on. And we're not going to have any specific law, but we're going to deal with a general standard such that you will be able to determine amongst yourselves whether there is a reasonable belief that someone has done something that needs to be answered to. Now, what is reasonable belief? In America, that is what the trier of fact determines. When you're dealing with a grand jury, they're to rise to the standard of more likely than not. The reasonable jury is what the reasonable person would determine, and under American law, that is a collective jury. If it's a petit jury that actually tries a matter to determine whether or not there's guilt or innocence, that is what 12 people unanimously determined to be the facts and the effect of the application of the law to the matter. When you're talking about a grand jury, that's something else, and the standards that must be observed in terms of how many members of the grand jury come back with a finding that there is probable cause is up to the state. We do have a standard here that you will be advised of. If you find that there is probable cause, then what would happen were you an official grand jury? Somebody would be required to answer. Now, with that said, I am going to facilitate these proceedings, and we do have our expert witnesses, and our host will be bringing in people who do have something to say, and you will be allowed to see certain video clips that have been in the news, and you will be able to reach an opinion as to what you think ought to be done.
Very good, Judge. You explain a lot better than I do. Folks, we do have a vote count standard that 3 out of 5 wins the day. So 3 of you that agree one way or the other, that's what it will be. If you agree that there is probable cause to indict or let this go further in the system in formal charges, then 3 out of 5 gets you an indictment. If you go the other way with it, you say all force was justified and reasonable, then it goes to a no bill, and we'll move on to the next case. We have 6 cases to get through tonight. We don't have any more questions. Judge, if you don't have any more to say, I say we get to the first case.
One little thing that is.
Go right ahead.
Juries have a lot of power. And what happens when we are talking about an indictment is the prosecutorial authority is vested in the attorney general for the district in question, or the district attorney general. He will present a bill. And if the grand jury determines that there is probable cause to believe that the accusations of the bill are true and correct, they will return probable cause. That is a true bill. If they do not, then what will happen is a no true bill will be returned. Grand juries also have the opportunity in most states of conducting an independent investigation. That sometimes kicks in when the prosecutor's office itself becomes subject to some suspicion. In that case, what they're trying to do is return a presentment. And that is something that the grand jury does on its own initiative without the prosecutorial authority being involved. With that, let's proceed.
Absolutely. In this case, just like most grand juries, you guys can ask questions. Once the evidence is presented, you can ask questions of the prosecutor, which is Judge Brown, myself, or anyone else in the room. And we can also review any points of the video that you want. But let's get to the first look, and let's do that first look now.
911 emergency.
Hi, I'm at the Acuna Motel right here on Brookers and Crescent. Somebody just got shot in the parking lot.
Do you know how many?
Please hurry up.
Is the shooter still there?
The people that shot, yeah, they're still here. Yes. And the guy in the parking lot, I say, please hurry up.
Is the person down?
Yeah, no, he's standing up, but he's holding his stomach.
Okay. Is the shooter still there?
Yes.
The guy with the gun, is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not going to walk up to it.
Did you see him get shot?
Yeah, I heard it. He just walked out of the car and the car still parked there. Yes, I heard it.
He was in the vehicle when he was shot?
Yeah, he was. He just walked out of it.
Okay, what type of vehicle was he in?
It's in a white truck. Just can you please just send somebody quick? He's standing right there. The people are still there.
The victim. Ma'am, listen, they're driving there. I'm just trying to get some information for the officers. Was the victim in the white truck?
It's a girl. It's a guy with glasses driving. A white guy with glasses. I don't know what the fuck. I'm not gonna keep fucking looking all straight. They're panicking and they're about to drive off.
The male white with the glasses. He was the shooter.
I don't know. He looks white, and I don't know. The guy was with him. He's still here. Maybe he could tell you. He's holding his stomach. Can you just send something? I don't know anything. He just said if I could call you guys, and that's it. I'm just letting you know they're about to drive off.
And it's a female driver?
It's a male with glasses. He's white.
Okay, but what I'm asking you is the guy with the glasses the one that got shot?
They're both wearing glasses.
Okay. The guy that was the shooter, what color shirt is he wearing?
I don't know. He didn't come out.
He's still in the vehicle?
Yeah, he's about to walk out. He walked up to the guy he shot, and he's like asking him questions. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but the guy's holding his stomach. He just said somebody. They're leaving in a white truck.
Can you get a license plate on the truck?
I didn't. But they're walking. They're just driving out. The cop just passed them.
Okay. Did he go right or left out of the parking lot? Did the truck turn right or left out of the parking lot?
I think the cop's gonna.
You say you're doing a great job. Are you able to tell me if he turned right or left out of the parking lot?
Adam 23, Stratford District 1 at 2:45 just occurred. The Kona Motel, 331 North Brookers. RF's advising someone was shot in the parking lot holding a stomach. Will stage 66.
10-4, code 3, Lincoln Beach.
Copy and route code 3.
371 up and route.
371, copy and route.
316, code 3.
316, copy and route code 3. It's a route for the 245. We have another RP. 622. Suspect description. So none of it's a victim or suspect. The possible shooter, male, white, glasses, still in a white truck. RP keeps saying they don't know and that they're leaving in a truck. We're trying to get further. Shooter, male, white, glasses, still in a white truck. RP keeps saying they don't know and that they're leaving in a truck. We're trying to get further.
Southbound with a male wearing glasses. White pickup truck.
Copy, a white picture leaving southbound.
Not with the picture. Who was it?
Copy, I was the victim.
Who shot you?
I don't know who's on.
Okay, sit down. Where'd they go?
They're running.
What kind of car did he get in? he leave?
I don't know. Please help. I need an ambulance now, bro.
What's that?
Please help me.
Did he leave? Is he still here?
No, he left.
Suspect's DOA, can I get fire to come to my location in the hotel?
Unity Keystone Pulse, northbound.
Exiting State College from the West 91.
Exiting State College from the 91.
He tried to spike him, but it didn't work, and now it's northbound State College from the freeway.
Northbound State College from the 91.
Southbound State College from Orangeburg.
Southbound State College from Orangeburg. 26-23 for Station 10, affirm. Unit still 91 at State College with strip.
I'm 23-10-4. Driving wrong way.
Wrong way.
State College from the 91 freeway.
Southbound State College from the 91.
313, we're now number 2.
26-316, number 2.
Back on the correct side of the road, southbound State College to Romeo, 35 miles per hour.
Right side of the road, southbound State College to Romeo.
Police car tried to pit, but that didn't work. For southbound State College coming to La Palma.
Southbound State College approaching La Palma.
Southbound State College through La Palma, 35 miles per hour light traffic.
Southbound State College to La Palma, 35 miles an hour light traffic.
Southbound State College through Underhill, meeting a little bit of traffic. Stop at a red light at Lincoln.
Southbound State College approaching Lincoln.
26-3-1, can we call him in?
Someone requesting a unit to plug me.
26 but they tried to push him into the side of the street. That didn't work. We're southbound State College through Lincoln.
Continuing southbound State College to Lincoln.
Southbound through South Street.
Southbound State College to South.
Alright, this guy's like actively ramming people as he's trying to make his way through traffic. Okay, pit in. Somebody get up there and pit in. 26-3-31, we copy. We're going to get it next opportunity.
Southbound through Vermont, those tires are coming apart.
Southbound State College to Vermont, tires coming apart.
Southbound State College through Mall Road, 30 miles per hour.
Alright, we're going for a pit.
Southbound State College to Bob, attempting pit.
Watch oncoming traffic.
Southbound through Winston.
Southbound State College to Winston.
Other tire just came off.
Tire just came off the vehicle.
Yeah, when he crashes and runs, don't chase him. The police dog is going to. We're southbound State College through Catella.
Southbound State College to Catella.
He keeps driving into us when we go for the pit.
Southbound through Orangewood.
Southbound State College to Orangewood.
Right, he's trying to actively hit the units.
Suspect actively trying to hit the units.
Eastbound Memory from City Drive, 35 miles per hour light traffic.
Eastbound Memory from City Drive.
There's a pit on Memory Drive over the riverbed. The car isn't quite immobilized yet.
Hit on the vehicle in the area of City Drive.
They have the back end of the pickup truck stopped, so they're 960 X-ray kind of, but the guy's on the gas trying to get away.
Attempting a 960X.
And a car to go to Memory in Bristol, east of here, at stop traffic there. This,
26-3 Sam 1, can we get up there and pit in?
26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you in? 26-3 Sam 1, can we call you Situation is still active. It looks like there's a shooting involved, so can you start the fire department?
10-4, we'll advise Station 31 and get medics.
Yeah, you can just have a fire department stage away. He's not in custody yet.
That's from, we'll have him stage away.
There's a put on the memory drive over the riverbed. Oh, there's a quite. Pin it.
Okay, Judge, that's our case. We're looking for justifiable use of force. In this case, justifiable homicide. The driver did die of wounds. And as everyone saw, this resulted in a gunshot assault call and ended up in a chase. Judge, I'll let you take it from there. We've got our guys all scrambled there, Big Ron. What are we doing here?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the officers involved are entitled to defend their own lives, and also that self-defense, also that embraces defense of third parties. We have a shooting that is apparent to them based on the information that they have, and there is a suspicion that there is an armed person. Now, the question becomes, do they have a concern for the rest of the citizenry that they are supposed to be protecting as to whether this or not this armed person is likely to pose a threat to them? Now, are there any questions about what you saw? Anyone?
That's you and the jury, folks. Any questions or parts of the video that you want to see, or any questions you have?
Well, I have a question. Because the gentleman who got shot in the stomach by the suspect, he said he didn't know him, right? So I have to assume it was just a random shooting.
We don't know from what we were looking at. Is there any witness that we have available that might speak to that point?
There's not, but I think the matter that we're discussing tonight was the actual law enforcement use of force, that it doesn't matter the reasoning or motive why the original offense occurred.
That would be correct.
I have a question.
Please.
Yes, sir. Was there a gun found at the scene with the suspect in the vehicle? And did the officers see a gun that we were not able to see in the video?
Well, that may be a question that elicits curiosity, but perhaps it is not necessary, because we do have an active shooting situation. We do have flight over a considerable period of time. A number of ordinary citizens were endangered and jeopardized by the flight episode. And there was a refusal to surrender. So you might consider whether or not these officers were dealing with their duty to protect the public. So if they had backed off, would there have been a likelihood that others in the public would have been jeopardized or endangered? And when they sought to apprehend this suspect, what prompted their use of the deadly force? Now, there were a number of shots fired, but you might direct your attention to the original victim, who was standing when the officers arrived and was strolling around after he had received an abdominal wound. He ultimately sat down and then collapsed. So you might consider whether or not some use of deadly force is going to take immediate effect, like you see in the movies, or there's likely to be an ineffective receipt of a wound. So what do you think? Anybody?
I have a question, well, more so a statement, because the guy who was shot and the man that they were chasing, did they know for sure that the person they were chasing was the actual shooter, which means someone in that vehicle did have a weapon. However, what is the protocol for an officer when you're in a chase like that and you finally pulled them over to stop? If you're telling them to raise their hands, to get out the car and put their hands in the air, do you still shoot? And if you do see their hands in the air, are you still shooting, or are you going to withhold from shooting? And did this man put his hands in the air to show that he did not have a weapon in his hand?
Interesting question. We do not have a resolution from what we've been looking at. Now, it is apparent when you do your consideration that the passenger was not harmed in this and was taken into custody. Now, you are not to determine whether or not this person committed a crime beyond a reasonable doubt. You are simply to determine whether it's more likely than not that some crime was committed. And in this case, what obviously would bring itself to your attention was there excessive force not justified under the circumstances?
So was it justified if he had a gun and did not, and was he resisting and they knew he had a gun? So that would make the deadly force justified. Was he resisting?
Well, the question is did the police have a reasonable suspicion that he was armed?
Well, from what I could
One that
see,
shot
it
the
seemed
guy.
like
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine. From what I could see, it seemed like it was so fast with that shooting that I only heard the officers give a couple commands, and I'm not sure that we had enough time to even allow the suspect to respond. My only other concern, yes, it's horrible, someone was shot, but how many times did we hear, I do not know who it was? Even the gentleman that was sitting there said, I don't know who shot me. The first caller said that she didn't know if the suspect went left or right. This guy could have had a warrant, fled for that reason, but I understand in the immediate um, circumstance of cough officers worried about their own life. Yes, I want them to protect themselves. I want them to be safe. But I don't know that I really want to know, did they see a
Okay,
gun?
hang on. We've got 6 cases to get through tonight. So, and this is an abbreviated version, but let me make it more simple for you guys in the jury. Look at it like this: doesn't matter why the probable cause they started the chase, but once the chase began, did this guy, the actor in the truck, was he a danger to the public? So answer that question for yourselves. If he was a danger to the public, then the police have an obligation to stop this, to prevent the public from being harmed. Then they pit him. They pit him for that reason, because he's ramming into cars, he's driving into traffic. Pit him. Let's get him off the roadway because he's a danger to everyone that he's driving around because of his behavior. Doesn't matter why they began the chase. That doesn't matter in this case. Was he a danger enough that the officers had the ability to use deadly force, which a pit maneuver is? There's the first deadly force they used was to pit him. Once they pitted him, he wrecks out, but he's not off the gas. We can see in the thermal how hot those wheels are and the rubber that it's throwing off at the same time. They're saying, stop moving, stop moving, stop moving. And then they shoot him. So you have the right to use deadly force to protect yourself and that third person. You can add another one to it on a police officer's stance. If this person continues to flee or continues to be at large, are they a threat to the public in general? I think that these are 3 questions you have to ask. Was the officer's life in danger, or was the general public's life was in danger? And if they let him go from that spot, would he continue to present a danger? I'm sorry, Judge. I think we need to cut this.
You're quite right on that.
We've got some difficult cases, and this is not one.
Yeah, you're quite right on that.
Can I give one thing to the jury real quick?
Yes, please. Interject.
So, priorities of life for law enforcement. Number 1 is the life of the innocent and the victims. Then it's the actual officer, and lastly, it's the suspect. So you have bystanders, innocent, victim, life of the officer, and last is the suspect. So when he's fleeing, you have to look at how many lives is this person putting in danger if they continue to let this go. And that's kind of that's how law enforcement operates. It's that priority of life.
All right. Now, when you look at this, consider whether the force was reasonable in terms of protecting the public from any consequences of the actions of the party that was being chased. As they are in this person's presence, chasing him, he's going down the wrong side of the street in a divided street situation. He will not stop. He is determined to do what he's doing, and the officers are looking at these circumstances, and based on what they know or could be reasonably expected to know, did they think this was a situation that was likely to result in deadly force and danger to the public if they did not intervene? Well, they had to intervene. Once they stopped this person, that's what they're referring to when they say pitted him. What were they supposed to do?
So should each jury, to answer the question, yes. For me, yes, he was a threat to the general public.
Hey guys, I tell you what, we're going to start the deliberation clock. We're going to listen to you. You have questions, we're here to answer them. But now it's up to you guys and the jury to give us a decision on a indictment or no bill or bill. In other words, justify the officer's use of force or say that you have a probable cause to believe it's unlawful and refer it to trial. Here we go.
If you find that the use of force was justified, you will return a no true bill. If you find it was not, you would vote for a true bill. Now you have 10 minutes. You have 9 minutes, 45 seconds of going.
I think it's pretty obvious that force was justified, so I'd say no.
I agree. Totally justified.
Yep, because like if he would have kept drive, he would have gotten away. Like he had his foot on the gas. If he would have kept go away, he could have like hit somebody with his car.
If he would have never fled and just stopped, would they have used the guns, excessive force shooting the vehicle? So they only shot the vehicle because it was a chase and he was armed and dangerous. So yeah, it was justified.
So what's the count at this point?
I think that was 3.
3. All right. Anyone else want to contribute?
Oh, I already said my piece. Yes. They were justified.
3 to 2.
Me too.
Or are 2 people saying that it was not justifiable?
I think we have 4 people that say that it was justified, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm
I think you're right.
Maybe we should ask who says it was not justified, because majority is saying it was justified. So who said it was not?
From everyone. That's the question I was asking. Is anyone saying it was not justified? Anyone?
Going once, going twice, 3 times, no bill.
No bill.
No bill, no formal charges. Guys, we've got a space that's going on. I'm going to jump in real quick and get some real quick comments from them. We're running a little back on time, so I'm going to push you guys, which is not unusual. But we're going to go to the space. Fidji, are you ready inside there? And can you hear me?
Yeah, I think Joe's about to come in.
Yes, you're right. Joe is in. Real quick, guys. Y'all saw the video. You heard the presentation. Any comments on this first video in the space? And we're glad to have you, by the way.
Hey, by the way, Joe, can you pipe in? We want to hear the deliberations in this particular space. So would you pipe those in when they're doing that?
Sure can.
Thank you. And it was, for us, it was a clean sweep of no bill. And let's pick Lori to hear from why it was no bill. Lori? Okay, let's pick King David.
Thanks, Fidji.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a no bill for me because it was.
Yeah, we're losing Lori. Guys, we need to get to the next video. We'll come back to you. So you want me to leave the audio into the space, Fidji? Is that a yes?
Not while the video is playing because we're watching it somewhere else. But if you would leave if you would put the deliberations in here.
Cheese and rice. Yes, I'll try to remember to do
I
that.
know. I'm picky.
You're picky.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
I am. Bye.
All right, folks, our next case, with that first one got us tongue-tied and hung up for a bit. This may be the last one we do tonight because this one's going to get you going. Let's watch it.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Okay. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor?
Huh?
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right. Get on the ground.
No, don't.
Get on the ground.
Put somebody.
Put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
I was putting my hands behind my back. I was doing
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking.
I'm fucking tooth and shit, bro. I was fooling, bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No, bro.
Yes, bro.
You
Yes.
have a lawful reason, bro.
Big knife center in here, too.
You gonna throw me one like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
That's not how it works.
Too late. It ain't gonna too late.
When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that shit.
Sir, your partner didn't even ask.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is.
So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong, sir. Can you back me up to the car so I can clean up?
Shut up.
You been busting my shit, sir.
On February the 19th, 2025 this year, America saw what America is. You saw injustice. You saw abuse of police power. But most importantly, we saw a young man that had a temperament to control himself in the face of brutality. William McNeil. Let me be clear. And people talked about him pleading guilty to resistance without violence and driving on suspended license. That entire stop was not just pretextual, racial motivated, it was unlawful.
We're just going to make a few remarks before we go to Q&A. And keep this family in prayer because, as his mother and father both said, they knew he could have been the next hashtag. It could have been a different result had he not kept his demeanor.
First of all, I want to thank God for bringing everybody here together, and thank y'all for supporting me. That day, I just really wanted to know, why I was getting pulled over and why I needed to step out the car when I know I didn't do nothing wrong. I was really just scared. And yeah, that's it.
Okay, and that's enough, William.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Florida 24 Bravo Echo Charlie Whiskey on a silver Kia. I know how it goes.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have of windows that works. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. I don't need the lights, and it's not weather. It's not raining.
Oh, this is inclement.
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
No, call your supervisor. Why?
Excuse me?
Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
77, 35. I'm cooperative driver. I've already told you.
Why did you pull me over?
Step out of the vehicle.
No.
Step out of the vehicle. 25 seconds. For 9-4, the driver just slammed the door and locked it. Yep. 25 seconds. If anybody responding, come in from Commonwealth, block the vehicle, please.
I'm coming west on Commonwealth. I'll be there in a sec.
Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. My camera's on too. I've already told you. Okay. Okay. Right now you're under arrest for resisting. You understand? You're under arrest for resisting. The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be. Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. Okay. Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. Open the door and exit or we are going to break the window. No, he's under arrest. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Vehicle's blocked in. Just locked it up. We put the window down. The fast try to talk to 2574. Hey, I'm about to break the window. I'm about to break the window.
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle! Show me your hands. Here.
1033 at 15.1 hours.
What is your reason? Step out now. No, don't touch it. Get on the ground.
Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
What's wrong with you? What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was on wrong.
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking.
Fucking 2%, bro. I'm doing, bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No, bro. Yes, bro. Yes. No reason, bro. You gonna throw my phone like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off now, man. Bro.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
You just gotta see Lieutenant right here. I'm already.
So your partner didn't even ask.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up? Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong, bro.
I don't know.
Can you back me up to the car so I can lean up? What up? You both my
You can start rescue. 1067. Approximately 30-year-old Bravo Mike. Last race still up. 2570. Gonna go around and get this car. Okay. That ain't good.
Sir, can you please ask him what did I do wrong?
Well, we're conducting a traffic stop right now. You need to comply.
I am complying.
Hey, unlock the car. I'm going to push it up.
Open the door and exit. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. Under arrest for resisting.
Can you unlock the door and step out?
Can you talk to me though?
I will. Can you step out?
Because you don't even know the whole situation.
You're being done. There's a traffic stop being conducted. You're required to comply.
And I'm required to actually.
So, yes. Correct. Huh? Okay. So what did he ask for when he I guess talked to you?
When he pulled me over,
Yeah.
Open my door because my window don't work. Right?
Oh yeah.
And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's still a legitimate reason to pull somebody over.
There's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on. Huh? Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will. Huh? All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands.
Here.
33 at 16:21 hours.
I'm here. What's your reason, sir? What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. Get on the ground. Don't fucking get on the ground. Stop fighting. Behind your back. I'm resisting.
Hands behind your back.
What's wrong with you?
2574, lift 1033, one in custody.
Stop. We know,
now, man. Ain't no talking.
bro. What's going on, man? You're under arrest. That's what's going on. Yes, bro.
You
Yes.
have a lawful reason, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
Good? Yeah.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation.
That's not how it works.
Too late. It ain't no too late. When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that.
So your partner didn't even act.
Your partner didn't.
Pocket.
Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up?
Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, but I didn't do nothing
Oh,
wrong.
resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Camera going in there.
Can you back me up to the car so I can clean up? Sit up.
I did.
Okay.
That ain't good.
Yeah. I know. He should have put some gloves on, though.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here. Huh?
You see that joint?
What? The knife? Yeah, I see it.
A lot of flat sticks. From you?
Yeah, you see that knife?
Yeah, That's one of the biggest concerns. Yeah, you see what's right there on the seat?
The knife's not in real clear play, but there was a knife in the floorboard near his leg. Now, before we get started, I want to remind you guys, we're not judging the actions of the driver, the suspect, or any other action other than law enforcement action. There was the force they used reasonable, from breaking the window to pulling him out of the car to any punches that were thrown. That's what we're here for. Now, Judge, I'll throw it over to you.
Okay, now, a circumstance you need to keep in mind is that when you operate a motor vehicle upon the roadways of a state and exercise the privilege to do so, you agree to a stipulation that when you get pulled over for a traffic violation, you are supposed to cooperate with the officers. What you saw in this was a door being opened, an allegation that the window was broken. You heard the officer politely say, "Sir, please present your driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance." The individual jumped back in the car and slammed the door and refused to open it in spite of repeated demands, which were basically lawful under the circumstances. And the individual seemed to feel that he needed to be persuaded. He kept saying he wanted to talk to a supervisor, but you can see in the video itself that it's an overcast day, which does bring into play what is the condition in a lot of states, which when there's inclement weather, cloudy weather, or the vision is impaired, you're supposed to turn your headlights on. He did not. That gave them cause to pull the driver over. And you saw what was a polite and reasonable request, once they had excuse to pull him over, to present driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance. That was not complied with. So at the point he was advised of the fact that he was under arrest, and he refused to respond, did the officers act reasonably to effectuate the arrest? Now, understand, under the law in just about every state, one does not have to persuade somebody to submit to arrest. One has justification for effectuating arrest, and at that point, an officer may use force, reasonable force, to effectuate the arrest. We note, under the circumstances, that we had drugs involved. We also had a knife, which, for the record, had a 4-inch blade, and it was within reach of the defendant. So we have to consider whether or not they used such force as was necessary to put the defendant in custody and take control of him. Now, are there any questions from the panel, or remarks, or observations?
Any portion of the video that you'd like to see again?
Did they didn't mention the knife until after they already took him in, though, right?
That's true.
Okay.
But you may consider that as to considering whether or not there was some circumstance that would be contrary to his assertion that he wanted to speak with a supervisor. And the question devolves into, was he resisting arrest, and did the officers act reasonably in putting him under arrest?
Yep, it's that simple.
Yes, he was resisting, and the officers did not wrong.
Wait, well, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
no.
but like, was it? I don't think that. I mean, was he even supposed to be pulled over in the first place? Because I live in Florida, and overcast skies are not a reason you have to turn your headlights on. So I'm just wondering if, I mean, you don't.
Ma'am, I checked. It is.
Overcast skies with no
Yeah,
rain or nothing.
Skies, rain, darkness, cloudy circumstances. And you will also note at the dialogue that you didn't have your seatbelt on.
Well, let me offer a bit of evidence on the precipitation. And look at this still here on the window. These are rain droplets, correct?
I can see them.
I think I think it was just uncomfortable seeing how physical they were with him. But from what I did see, though, him slamming the door and not getting out of the vehicle, those are all, you were given a lawful order. You have to follow it. That's, to me, it's pretty cut and dry, even though I thought that it felt like there were way too many police officers on the scene, but that's just because it seemed that way to me. But at the same time, that doesn't have anything to do with what his actions. His actions, he should have followed the order that he was given, and he didn't. So I would say I would vote no on this one as well.
I agree, Nathan. He absolutely did not. Go ahead.
The reason you bring in overwhelming force is so the suspect does not get tempted to physically resist the arrest and use violence against the arresting officers.
Thank you. I didn't know that. Go ahead.
The moment when a cop, whether the cop had a right to pull him over or not, whatever the reason was, when a cop pull you over, you should comply. Just give him your driver's license, registration, and then you can ask him, what is the problem, officer? But from the moment the cop pulled him over, the driver was not compliant. He was resisting. He had an attitude. He was completely in the wrong. And that officer was repeating himself a dozen times. And that man did not have a handicap where he could not comprehend what the officer was saying. So he was just resisting from beginning to end, no matter, I don't care what the reason was why that officer pulled him over. The moment he said no, he resisted. So anything that comes after that, you slamming the door, he's telling you roll the window down. Now you're putting that officer in a dangerous situation to really think that, okay, you could have a weapon or whatever, but he was just resisting. So I don't see them doing anything wrong.
An interjection. Officers by U.S. Supreme Court edict can act when they have a reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed. And there is, again, under the compact of exercising the privilege to operate a motor vehicle, the requirement that the driver submit to a request to show driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance. And we did see the door slammed and a refusal to come out when that was made as a reasonable demand upon the suspect. Now, go ahead, please.
Well said, everyone. I agree. 100% no, Bill. His attitude does not help him at all, which then the officers have to wonder, why is he having such an attitude? And I do not begrudge them at all for for proceeding with every step they took. 100% no, Bill.
Next.
Sorry, guys, I'm going with Bill on this one. I think that here's the thing. I mean, okay, it seems to me that I live in Florida. I drive in Florida. I understand that there's water on the windows in that video, but it is not raining when that video is happening. And I've never been pulled over for that. So it's very weird to me, even if it's in the law somewhere that you can just pull somebody over in the middle of the afternoon because it's overcast. I've never seen it done.
But what about the no seatbelt? And what about after he's pulled over, his mannerisms may have worked better had he just complied and he could have drove off out of there, maybe even with a warning.
Yeah, but being kind of a jerk is not actually a crime. It's just stupid. And I don't think you should get punched in the face because you're stupid. So
good question. What if there had been a child concealed in the back of that car?
But there would have been no way for an officer to know that there was a child concealed in the back of the car.
Suspicion. When a person acts in a suspicious manner, the officers may make further inquiry or make demands. Somebody commits a crime, they can attempt to conceal it. And there is what you call guilty conduct, fleeing the scene can be used to infer that there is culpability for something. Under the totality of the circumstances, the officer has to act in the interest of the public. Why would somebody, when given the reasonable request, please present your driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration, even if there was no reason to pull him over? That is a reasonable request under most states' laws. So why do we have a door slammed and windows rolled up and a refusal to come out and present driver's license, proof of registration, and proof of insurance? That becomes suspicious conduct, which requires that the officers intervene, and they could conduct no investigation with the door slammed, locked, and the windows rolled up.
Let me ask, did the officer see the seatbelt not on before he pulled the man over or after?
Let me add something to that. If you're pulled over and you think that the officer, you had your seatbelt on, and the officer says, no, I pulled you over because I believe that you didn't. He obviously believes so. He turned on the lights and pulled you over. He writes you a citation. Shall you get out of the car then and demand that you have this case heard and the facts heard here on the roadside, or do you go to court?
All right, that's what I was going to say. The reason for that cop pulling him over could have been disputed in court, because if you felt as though he wrongfully pulled you over for whatever reason, then you get a lawyer and then you take it to court and you fight it.
But I guess my point to that is if he disputed the facts of his stop, does he have the right? Do you have the right as a citizen to dispute that on the roadside and have that matter disposed of right then and there?
No,
absolutely
not. You don't. No, you gotta live to fight another day.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So knowing that, then obviously whether you believe the stop was valid or not, the stop happened. How far and how long or what lengths does the officer have to do to get this thing over with, get this business on the side of the road done? How many cars were there? They're talking to him through the window. At what point do the officers just leave because he's not giving it up, or do they use the force part of the enforcement?
Their force was justified, but I look at it like this. Their force was justified because he was not complying. If he would have been complying from the beginning, it would have just been one officer and in one car, and he probably wouldn't even got a ticket. He could have gotten a warning, but because whatever the reason why that officer pulled him over, when that driver said no, slammed the door, didn't roll the window down, wanted, and it was just uncooperative, then whatever happened after that was necessary.
Anybody else? Let's take a vote on this.
No bill.
That's one.
No bill.
No bill.
No, we may have lost the judge's connection. So I've got Dana's a no bill. Nathan's a no bill. Mermies. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go to Sally. Sally, what's your vote? London, what's your vote?
I'm still voting bill.
So I think we've got 4 bills or no bills and 1 bill. 1 true and 1 not true. Yes? I think so.
Yes.
We'll get the judge back here in just a moment. Until then, we're going to call this a
side note. If somebody calls him and knocks him off, but here just reconnect.
No worries. We'll get him back here. But that's a no bill, no formal charges on that. That one was a tough one. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Yeah, I think it was watching the force they used. It wasn't pretty, but it was justified. But it was still hard to watch.
It wasn't tough. It was when the clip that guy put out recently, I was kind of on his side. But when I saw the full video from beginning to end, that it wasn't hard. That them cops did their job.
Yeah, and I'll say
this, that like you said, it wasn't pretty, but would you agree it was necessary because of his own behavior?
Very necessary.
Here's what I was going to say about violence. When you witness true violence in your life, nobody's going to think that's pretty. It's always pretty rough. It's hard to watch true violence. Guys, we've got to get on. We've got other cases to go. But who was just talking? Was that Sally? Whoever was just making a point that I cut off, if you'll finish your point.
You mean salty?
No, I was done, Joe.
I'm
I
so
was just
sorry. How
saying,
many
I
times
know
have
it
I called you
wasn't pretty,
Sally,
but
folks?
it was necessary.
You're right, but how many times have I called you Sally tonight? I'm
Quite
so
a few. I was like, who's Sally?
I
Trust
appreciate you
me, I
stepping in there,
am no
Nathan, and
Sally.
getting my back like that, brother. I mean, it's good. I'm glad you just watched me flounder. Kind of respect that a little bit, but yeah, either way. Hey, folks, we're going to go to the space real quick. Fidji, are you ready inside that space for any comments on this last video?
May I?
We're
What
always
was the
ready.
count?
And
Can
we
you
did
hear me
a
now?
Yeah, we've got you again. Hold on for a second, Fidji. The count was 4-1. London was the only holdout for a bill.
All right. Now, may I update everybody on what you're looking at to show you the circumstance? This case is disposed of. It's not pending. This occurred back in March when there was inclement weather in Florida, when all those storms were coming in. The defendant has entered a plea of guilty to resisting arrest, driving on a revoked or suspended license. Now, that's the reality of what's happened to the situation. So take that into context in assessing what you determine relative to the probable cause issue. Mainstream media is playing this like it happened this week. It did not. That was 4 months ago.
And on this, I've learned recently, there's a particular attorney that you'll see sitting on these press conferences like that. And I've learned that he's made his money off of settlements, doesn't go to jury trial. He just racks up enough fervor out there, and the city's willing to settle for something underneath their liability. He takes his cash and goes on down to the road to the next time that he can shake a dust feather, is my opinion.
Now, a critique from having sat on the bench for a very long time, being a defense lawyer, criminal defense lawyer, being a prosecutor, a lot of times what happens is the revelation of a real tragedy. There's a body in the back of the car. There is a kidnapped child or adult in the car. There is evidence of a bank robbery. There is evidence of a homicide committed elsewhere. And typically people behave in a suspicious fashion. An officer is not required to yield to somebody's efforts to evade apprehension. An officer, once he has reasonable suspicion to conduct an arrest or a stop, may proceed accordingly. The state has the authority to effectuate the arrest and use physical force to do so. The officers in this situation were very, very indulgent. They went above and beyond. And perhaps what we were looking at was an instance of a childhood situation with the way we raise children being carried over into adulthood, where instead of children respecting authority, they have to be negotiated with when their parent or parent tells them something to do. So they keep that into adulthood.
Very good. Hey, Judge, your camera's just a little bit low. If you got that up a tiny bit more, there you go.
Well, I had to adjust it to try to get the phone back in. I don't know what happens.
It's technology, and we're putting this together with a shoestring, so we'll have it. No worries. Folks, I want to take a second and talk about our friend with the Range Minded podcast. This is Range Minded. He puts out a weekly podcast. He's been doing this like it's a real job for a couple of years. Great content. If you're into legal decisions that has anything to do with the 2A realm, he's your man. When it comes to gunsmithing and gun craft, he'll get you to the range to do that. If we'll pull the panels down now, I'm going to run a promo.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, man, what time does the store close? Or where's the best cheeseburger near me? Well, I'm not going to answer those questions. That's what your damn phone is for. Use that. Instead, if you have stuff related, to the 2A world, I'm your man. My name's Steve. I run the Range Minded podcast. On the podcast, we talk about all things Second Amendment, whether it be new guns or gear. Maybe we talk about some training. We'll dig into Washington and the shenanigans they get up to. Sometimes we talk about the Supreme Court and the crap that they're doing. It's always a good time, a little smorgasbord of the 2A, if you don't mind me using that narrative. Either way, you can find us whether on YouTube or Rumble, Range Minded Podcast. I'm also on all sorts of streaming services, wherever you listen to your podcast, Range Minded Podcast. You can jump on the website, rangemindedpodcast.com. Maybe stop by, buy a patch and some other things there. You can link to the social medias and all that other stuff. Hope to see you there. It's always a good time. Anyways, you guys have fun, stay safe, and always stay range-minded. See you guys soon.
Yeah, folks, the Range Minded Podcast. You can find it anywhere you get podcasts.
Yeah, that's what I having fun. I'm like, it's okay.
Give him a like, a subscribe, and also grab a patch. He's got some great patches. All right, we're going to jump right into the next case, guys. We're running a little bit behind, but this is case number 3.
On December 16, 2024, at 2:53 a.m., 2 Mesquite police officers were investigating a suspicious person loitering around a closed business near Interstate 30 and Sorrento Boulevard.
What was that? Was that car right there? Hey, you're good to go.
Turner, South Shell, Mountain Center.
You might have been a car 30. I'm not sure.
24 quotas and 0.
Going east or west?
I think I'm at the car exiting Gus Thompson. Okay, I got 2 running, 2 black males, 3 black males.
3 black males running, Gus Thompson, 30. Gus Thompson, 12, 30. Under the bridge, 30, and 3 on facing on the floor.
Hey, put your fucking hands up! Put your hands up, I'm fucking shoot you! Get on the fucking ground!
.24 shots fired. Got the suspect down, 10-4.
The firearm was a Sig Sauer 9mm pistol containing 9 rounds with 1 round in the chamber. 2 additional firearms were located on the ground immediately outside of the wrecked suspect vehicle. One firearm was a 9mm AR pistol with a single round in the chamber, and the other was a Glock 19 9mm pistol containing 15 rounds. There was also a drum magazine located outside the vehicle with 9 9mm rounds inside it. A 4th firearm was located inside the vehicle, a Glock 17 9mm pistol with an extended magazine containing a total of 24 rounds.
All right, folks, that's your case. Big Ron, we're scrambled again. I don't know why that's happening.
All right, any remarks?
I want to know, it was a little confusing to me because the 3 suspects were being chased and they didn't stop. And then when they finally stopped, did they get out of the car? The police started shooting right away? I mean, I'm a little fuzzy on that.
Why don't we go back and watch the video? That seems you're real unclear on a real basic fact. Let's go to it. All right, this is the pursuit.
They going east or west?
I think I'm at the car exiting Gus Thompson.
So the pursuit, the suspect vehicle had gotten far enough ahead that it wrecked out on its own. There it sits now.
Okay, I got 2 running, 2 black males, 3 black males.
One didn't go past the underpass. 2 went past the underpass.
3 males running, got Thomas Andrews. Thomas Boulevard.
One in the red shirt on the right-hand side of the road, traveling just outside the headlights of the vehicle. One in a black shirt on the left-hand side of the road.
Under the bridge, 38 on the floor.
Hey, put your fucking hands up! Put your hands up, I'm fucking shoot you! Get on the fucking ground!
Okay, I got it. Yeah. I mean, the police officer was justified because a police officer tells you stop or I'll shoot you. I think you better stop.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say, what is it? No bill. It was justified. Because I think when you see the actual chase and the guy kept running, and then seeing that they discovered all these guns in the car. So that guy, the young guy that was running away from the cops, he could have turned around and shot at the cops while he was still trying to run and go away. So, yeah, I think it was justified.
Advocate, the officers found the guns after they shot the guy. So how would they have known about them before he shot him?
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Was that they found it after
the call? Because was the call saying that possibly they could be armed, but you don't know, and you're getting out and you're running, so you're
now hang on. The call was again. You guys are watching the video, right? The call again. These officers are at an unrelated traffic stop at a gas station, and somebody drives by, and you hear the gunfire. We hear the gunfire, and that's when the officer gets on the radio, says somebody just shot at us, and then this pursuit begins and ends the way we see.
Right. So, so apparently they're assuming that they're armed and dangerous because the call was someone was shooting at us, right?
But no call. These officers, witnesses.
No, they were. Yeah, they were shot at. That's what he was trying to say. Yeah, no bill for me as well.
Right. So they were shot at before he got out the vehicle chasing him. They were shot at. The cop.
All police officers just should assume every citizen is armed and dangerous. I mean, that's what I think. Because, like, it's tough out there on the streets.
I don't think we want them to assume everybody's armed and dangerous, but I just think that if somebody fired at the police and then they chased them and then shot them, I think it's reasonable that they made the right decision based off of what they experienced.
But that's what I was saying, because if he's running after him and he's saying stop or I'm gonna shoot you, and he keeps running, so he was justified in shooting him. And then you see all the guns that they had. Now, just a little FYI, when these cops are talking over that radio thing, I can hear them, but some stuff I can't make out. So that was the question. They were shot at prior to running after the guys that got out the car. Yes.
Yeah, same officers involved. This were the same officers that were at a gas station nearby, unrelated traffic stop. This vehicle drives by, gunshots are heard. Now, whether they're shooting at the officer, shooting there, I don't know. But gunshots are heard. Officers, you can hear them acknowledge to each other. Did you hear that? They even tell the person they had pulled over, pretty much it's your lucky day, you're free to go. They jump in the car, and then they begin to pursue the vehicle that drove by that gunshots came from. Not sure if they shot at the officers. That's not clear.
Yeah, I think that
in addition, go ahead.
No, I think that this is kind of like the first video in this way, where it's like they have a reason, like they have reason to assume that this person is armed and dangerous because he was shooting a gun at some point. They don't know if he still has a gun, and he's running away to where he could probably go shoot at somebody else because he's already shot at somebody. So I would go with no bill.
Next.
No bill.
Next.
No bill.
So that's 5-5, no bill, or is anybody uncounted?
No, that's all 5.
It's all 5. Okay, no bill. Interestingly enough, the U.S. Supreme Court case that deals with this comes out of Memphis, Tennessee. When it originated, I was a prosecutor, and when it was resolved, I was running the public defender's office. So it's interesting. What the court said is just because someone is fleeing does not give an officer justification for using deadly force. But if the officer has a reasonable belief that his life is in jeopardy or the lives of others might be in jeopardy, then he might be justified in using lethal force. So I think your decision is good because there was an active shooting that was in essence witnessed by the officers. There were, I believe, what we saw in the end was that weapons were discarded during the chase or dropped after the shooting. So
Judge, also,
thank
this
you
is what
for
I couldn't make out. Didn't they find a gun next to the perpetrator, that the one that was shot? Didn't they find a gun next to him as well?
I think they did. So
That is correct. They had a gun. It was in his hoodie.
So it wasn't visible when he was running.
We don't know that.
It's hard to see from the video.
see, it's one thing, for example, let's just say somebody is asked to stop because they're acting suspicious and they take off running. That doesn't necessarily give somebody justification, officer or anybody else, to shoot them. But let's supposing that there was an armed robbery of a liquor store or a bank or a retail establishment and shots were fired and a chase ensues with people who are presumed to be dangerous because they have given reasonable suspicion that they are armed. That switches things off, and that's what grand juries do. They have to evaluate such circumstances, and I think you acted appropriately, all of you, when you voted for a no true bill.
I think it was a good decision. To be honest with you, Judge, I thought that we would get more pushback on this one because he was running away, and they're like, "Well, you can't shoot to stop them." But I'm impressed with our jury. I think they're pretty sharp. Let's go to our space. Talking about sharp folks, we got Fidgy. Fidgy, do you have me in the space?
Hey, Joe, we sure do. For the most part, we were no bill, but we did have one bill. We just can't call on that person. So let's call on Burton this time to hear why it's a no bill. Burton? Guys, get on your mics.
I am to talk.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah,
Burton.
I said it was a no bill. I mean, there was gunfire, and I said it was a no bill. I mean, there were.
Yeah, somebody's got a mic on or open mic inside there or on the speakers.
I need to ignore that. There was gunfire. The officers pursued. They encountered the individuals, and what happened after that was what happened. Justified use of force.
So you agreed with our jury, is that right, Burton?
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
Very good.
I'll give you the no bill thought if I think I can restate this correctly. Just because the guy had a gun on him, from where we picked up in the video, just because the guy had a gun on him did not give the reason. May not have given the officer a reason to shoot if he did not see the guy pull the gun. Just having a gun on you doesn't make it unlawful.
And that's a discussion we can have in the after party because that has to go long when you have to explain that one to folks.
Right.
We're going to get to our next case, guys. I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing in that space, and I apologize for not being able to spend more time with you. But we'll be back in there when this is over with, and we'll have a good talk. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's get to our fourth case.
Dallas 911, Nathan, do you need police, fire, or EMS?
Police.
Okay, to what address?
I'm at there's a man walking that's like across the street, and he's walking back and forth with a knife in his hand. and it's like he has a shirt in his hand wrapped around one hand, and he has a knife in his other hand, and he's walking back and forth. He's looking at my neighbor's house, and there's only a woman there that I know, and he's like walking back and forth there. And then the dogs that are barking, he's walking up to them as well, but he's just standing in the driveway with a knife. He's just standing there.
Looks like we have someone on the way out. Is he is it a white male with a gray t-shirt and gray pants?
Yes, and it looks like he's cutting himself. He's cutting himself.
Okay. Where's he
my
cutting
God.
himself at? His arm?
It looks like he's cutting himself on his arm.
Okay. All right. We have a call for police and ambulance to go out.
Okay.
Okay. We'll update the information. They're on the way out.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay, careful. Look, get on this side.
Stop! Hey! Stop! Stop it!
Drop the knife! 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 Drop the fucking knife! Drop the 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 knife!
Drop the knife!
Drop the knife! Shots fired. About 315, shots fired.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Put the knife down! Put the knife down!
Put the knife down!
All right, folks, that's your case. Disturbed person call responded by the police. You saw the different things that were used. They used pepper ball, taser, and verbal commands. It resulted in a fatal shooting. Judge, I'll leave it to you.
Okay, comments, observations. Who's first?
Again, he was definitely a threat to the officers, and I think that they were justified in what they did. They gave him many, many, many commands to drop the knife, and he didn't listen. So, I mean, and the one officer kept backing up and backing up and backing up, and plus they used tasers. I mean, they really did go the extra mile to not to use non-lethal force, but they had no choice. So, I would say no, Bill.
Yeah, I mean it's like a bummer that somebody who's clearly mentally ill got killed in this, but people have the right to protect themselves, including police, and it seems like they tried everything they could to actually get him apprehended without killing him. And then, I mean, at the end, he was clearly chasing an officer with a knife. So,
by the way, that would mean that the officer was retreating. So, I think there aren't very many states that have a "you must retreat" rule before you can use deadly force or defense.
Well, Florida sure doesn't. So, I mean, yeah.
This was a retreat situation.
Well, I think we needed a social worker on the scene to diffuse the situation.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, Bill.
Next.
Well,
I knew you were joking.
I think you should not do meth. Meth makes you crazy, so
I
you
think
should not do meth.
Also true. Also true.
I think it was a mental health, because we don't. I don't know if he used a knife on someone or threatened someone, you know, or he was just walking down the street with a knife. But that would, I guess, be considered a danger to society. And maybe he was out high on something. Maybe he had a mental disorder, but I guess a knife is considered on the same level as a gun, and you're charging at an officer. But here's a question I would like to ask. Do you always have to shoot to kill, or do you shoot to subdue?
Answer to that one. Under the general law of the United States, you're not entitled to shoot unless you are entitled to kill.
So when if you're gonna use a gun legally at somebody, you have to shoot to kill.
No, you don't have to, but you're not justified in using a deadly weapon unless you are also justified in killing your assailant.
So I don't have to shoot to kill, but if I want to be justified in court, I would have to be shoot to kill him.
Well, you're entitled to. You don't have to, but you saw in the video we've already seen, the person got shot and suffered an abdominal wound, and he was standing up and had been standing up for some minutes and was ambulatory. So if somebody is determined to come after you with a knife, and one gunshot wound is no guarantee that somebody's going to play like they're in a Hollywood movie and fall over dead or incapacitated. You have to stop the threat. So you have to neutralize it. And if that means you have to kill the person, that means you kill the person. If you have a right to shoot them, you have a right to use deadly force, which is that force which will reasonably kill someone.
Yeah, let's go to our 30-year police veteran, Jason. What do you feel about shots to wound or warn?
It's deadly force. I don't care if you get shot in the kneecap, the ankle, or the big toe. If you're presenting somebody with a bullet, it's deadly force. So when we train, it's 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. If we go to deadly force, that means we are justified at that point to actually take them out and end the threat. And it goes up a use of force continuum, which they did here, where they went with pepper ball, didn't work, taser didn't work. I actually thought the cop backing up should have shot sooner. And that ties into a 21-foot rule, where if an edge weapon is presented to you within 21 feet, that person can stab you before you can draw your weapon and fire back. So that's my 2 cents on that. We're not taught to injure. If you're using deadly force, it's going to be construed as deadly force.
And don't misunderstand what the judge is telling you. Judge is telling you that if you have the basically right to use a firearm, when you use it, it's deadly force, whether it kills the victim or not. If I shoot someone in the leg, that could cause death, believe it or not. Not in movies, but in real life, you hit someone in an artery in the leg, they can die before an ambulance gets there, even though you meant to maim them. So if you were only at the level of maiming them to stop them, then you've just killed someone and didn't have a right to do so. So if you have the right to use the gun, you have the right to use deadly force. I guess it could be your choice whether you try to go for a maiming shot or not.
Here's my question so that I could better understand. If you have the right to use your gun and you shoot and it results in that person being killed, then you're justified.
Let me put it this way. You have no justification to use a firearm or a deadly weapon to defend yourself unless you have justification for killing your assailant.
So what that breaks down to is I've never heard that before, Judge, and I appreciate it because that's what we always say where I'm from. If you're going to pull your weapon, you're going to use it, because then you have to think twice, and you must know your life is seriously in danger before you're willing to take that step and use your weapon. So I do like that, and I never heard it put that way.
Let me give you an example. A case tried in my courtroom. The defendant got found guilty of criminally negligent homicide. Some friends that worked together were dealing with a Super Bowl situation over the holidays, and each of them had brought a weapon over to show to their buddies. Somebody had a .45 caliber 1911 loaded with very effective ammunition, and he accidentally discharged the weapon. It's captured on video. You can see the bullet hitting him. You can see the small dark stain in the middle of his chest, and he's got on a gray sweater. The autopsy revealed that all 4 chambers of his heart were completely destroyed, but yet for 15 seconds, he's talking to the person that accidentally killed him, and he's saying, "Man, you messed me up. Who's going to feed my children and my wife?" And you can see him in there walk about 8 or 9 yards to sit on a motorcycle seat, and he's talking. What am I going to do, man? You fool, you killed me. And then he says, I can't see after about 12 seconds, which is physiologically what the case is about when you get this type of wound.
Nope, we may have lost the judge. Guys, where are we at on the count on this? Do I have anybody that's no bill? I mean, anybody that is an indictment or a true bill? Okay. And I'm doing this because we're just going to keep moving on along here. I've got one more video and a few more things that I will want to talk about. But that's a no bill. We'll give that an official stamp.
Yes.
And while we're waiting on the judge, let's talk about the judge. How about that? Do y'all know the judge does barbecue sauce?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a pretty fine line of barbecue sauce. Let's take a look at it.
Introducing Judge Joe Brown's all-new barbecue sauce and seasoning. Justice in the form of flavor. With one taste of our premium blends of all-natural ingredients, herbs, and spices, you'll fall in love with meat all over again. Judge Joe Brown's all-natural barbecue sauce collection is made up of 2 zesty flavors, original and spicy.
Law firms will take this as a retainer.
What? It must be a law firm where they hungry as hell. Now you gonna help me with this parole I'm dealing with?
Yeah, folks, we were talking about this before the show got started. Judge Joe Brown says you can absolutely get it from his website. It's on his X page as well. JJBBQ, I think, or JJBBQ. But either way, you can get it from the website. He says also probably faster and maybe a little bit cheaper if you just go straight through Amazon and get it. But you should give that a shot. It looks like pretty good. Plenty of different flavors and rubs and stuff on his site. You guys give that a shot and take a look at it. Now, I want to get to the next video. I'm kind of rushing through here, but this one is going to be Jason, pay attention to this. Everyone pay attention to the response to this type of call that we're going to watch right now.
February 19th, 2024, at 8:49 a.m., an administrator with the Pioneer Technology and Arts Academy Charter School contacted the Mesquite Police Department and advised that there was a student in an office with a handgun refusing to put it down.
Mesquite 911 Buchanan, what's the address of your emergency?
3200 Olds. I'm the assistant principal, and the student just pulled a gun. I need someone here now. I am with him. He's fine. I'm calming him down. I need to get someone here now.
Okay, I'm getting him started. Where is he right now?
He's in my office in room 151 in the building. I'm putting the building on lockdown.
Okay, does he still have the gun?
Yes, he does.
Okay. What is he doing right now?
He's just standing. He won't put the gun down. I'm not going to leave you.
No. You don't know. Look, put it down. Put it down. No. Put it down. Put it down, Don. Don, put it down.
Please, Jason.
Put it down. No. Put it down. You trust me. Put it back on the floor. Put it back on the floor. Back on the floor. Put it back on the floor. Put it back on the floor. Put it back on the floor.
Is he in here?
He's in here.
Where's
still
the
don't move. It's on the floor in front of him. He still don't move. Don, be still, don't move, and I need you to trust me. Do you understand? It's on the floor between his legs.
What's it?
Officers spoke calmly with the student for approximately 4.5 minutes, attempting to de-escalate the situation and end the incident peacefully.
What's going on today, buddy? Can you talk to us? We would like to help you. That's why we're here. Is anything upset you today?
Just give me the air for a minute.
Can you listen to me closely? Please do not reach for that gun, okay? We don't want anything to happen to you or anyone else. Can you do that for me? What has upset you today? Maybe we could talk about it.
Trouble? Okay. We just need you to step away so we can... Hey, son! Shots fired! Shots! Hey!
Do you need anything right now? No?
We just need you to step away from the gun, buddy. You're not in trouble? Okay. We just need you to step away so we can... Hey, son! Shots fired! Shots! Hey! Hold on, hold on!
The office door again closed, and officers continued negotiating through the closed door, advising the suspect to exit the room. The suspect stayed inside the room until complying with commands to exit, where he was then taken into custody. The suspect had an injury to his leg sustained from the shooting. Mesquite Fire Department treated the suspect and transported him to a local area hospital. The police department coordinated with school administrators to enact the reunification plan. The campus was searched as the remaining students and faculty were escorted from the building by officers. The suspect was medically released later that evening and transported to Dallas County Juvenile Detention. No other injuries were reported. The suspect was charged with multiple counts of aggravated assault against a public servant, as well as exhibition of a firearm. In total, 3 officers fired 19 times over the 2 threats encountered by the suspect. A Rossi .38 special revolver possessed by the suspect was recovered by investigators. Subsequent interviews with witnesses revealed that the armed suspect came to the school with intentions of harming others. The suspect was identified as a 16-year-old male student whose identity is being withheld due to his juvenile status.
All right, there's our case. Judge, I'll throw it back to you.
All right. Anybody have any comments? Observations?
It was a lot for him to only get a leg gunshot wound. It was a lot of bullets, a lot of gunshots I heard. So where exactly? Where
19 gunshots to be exact.
right. So were they trying to shoot to kill him, or they was just shooting in the air? I don't know.
Well,
But
you gotta remember adrenaline, your adrenaline is pumping, and my guess is they were obviously in fear for their lives. So training as much
you guys have you've got a 30-year veteran police officer who has invented a 3D response system for school response. You can ask him about those shots.
Let's hear from you.
Well,
Sir.
I believe that when you're firing in that particular moment, he was fired upon. He reached for their gun. You're going to unload your weapon. I mean, I've always been told, you either do 2 or unload your weapon. And that's one thing that I've never cared about, was how many shots were fired once they were fired, because you're trying to make sure and eliminate that threat. So, and the officers walked away safely. And in my opinion, no one else was harmed. And I think it was a good day.
Observations?
I mean, I know the police chief here, or former one. He said, "No, we shoot to kill, and we ask questions later." So they were justified. It's kind of hard. I mean, it's like cringy to look at it, but they were justified.
The
Heartbreaking.
The true term to that is you shoot now and you'll answer questions later. You're going to answer for every bit of it.
I have another question. So shoot, then ask questions later, but should you only shoot when someone does not have a gun? I mean, you should only shoot when someone has a gun.
Not necessarily. Sometimes a person may have a reasonable belief that a person is armed, and it may be a mistake. A lot of states put the caveat in there that so long as it's a reasonable mistake, the self-defense application of deadly force will still accrue to the benefit of the actor.
I think in this case too, I think the other person told the student to put the gun down, and I think the student did. And they said, "Don't reach for the gun." And when he made that move to reach for the gun, that ties into action versus reaction. If they wait for him to grab that gun, now their lives are in danger. So keep that in mind too.
Yeah, to me it looked like the student. I mean, he was clearly reaching for the gun that they told him not to get, and that wasn't a motion of somebody that's about to stand up. That was somebody that's reaching down. So it's unfortunate that he got hurt, but I think they were justified in that.
Contemplate this is in a school with a lot of children around, and think about all of the tragedies that have occurred over the last few years when there is an armed person in a school. And
And
remember,
Judge,
the officers have the obligation to protect others.
yeah, exactly.
Other than
This is a target-rich environment, and if the cops don't deal with this threat right here, you could have multiple deaths. And they shot through sheetrock, and sheetrock is not cover. So when he went and reached for that gun and they opened the door again, those officers are vulnerable. The entire school is vulnerable. So,
Are the cops responsible for how many shots they do fire? To me, it's not important. It doesn't matter to me. But I do hear that argument at times that they fired too many shots. Is that ever a problem?
you have a right to keep firing until the threat is neutralized. Now, remember my story about the person on trial in my courtroom who accidentally killed someone with a .45 auto with, for anybody that's interested, federal 230 grain hydroshock, which is some of the best ammo for that caliber of pistol. The victim's heart, all 4 chambers were completely destroyed, but the person did not lose consciousness for 15 seconds. He walked 7 to 8 yards, sat down, and lambasted the person that accidentally shot him. So you don't get what you see in the movies where somebody dramatically gets shot and falls over. The other thing is you hear these tales of why didn't he shoot him in the arm or the leg? Well, this person got shot in an extremity, but the problem is one of the reasons you get the 19 shots is a lot of people don't shoot that well, even if they're police. And when there's adrenaline flowing, the stress of the circumstances, people are shaking because of the stress. A lot of times people don't have the capacity to hit their target. You'd be surprised at how poorly a lot of people actually shoot.
I'm gonna go with no bill.
Same, no bill.
No bill.
Same.
No bill.
Okay, that's unanimous. Good decision.
We have a unanimous decision on no bill on that one. Okay, I'll take it. Somebody's running open mic. Not sure where that's at. Okay. Now that video in particular kind of plays into something that we talk about on every show, and that is Jason's 3D response school safety system. It's a comprehensive plan and program that Jason has been developing over the last 10 years. It's in almost 20 schools in the state of Minnesota, and working very hard to try to get a bill passed in the state of Minnesota that makes a safety code like the fire code in your kid's school. They do that for these type of situations we just watched. Now, you saw how the Mesquite Police Department responded to a school shooter last year. We had somebody call on the phone, which is a very long 911 call. If the gunshots have been firing while they're on the phone, nothing's happening. What the response was when the police responded there, you heard that the principal or the administrator said, well, I'm going to lock the school down. To think about how effective that was. Now watch this video in the 3D response system. This would be over the same type of situation. Someone enters your kid's school with a gun. 3D response responds this way.
Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way. Law enforcement is on the way.
I see you entering, take a right. You're going to proceed down the long hall, all the way to the end. You're going to go till the end where you're intersect to the classrooms. Keep going, I see you moving forward. Subject is held up in classroom 203.
Law enforcement is on Law enforcement is on the way.
Yeah, folks, the 3D response system, when it's installed in schools, provides training. What you watched there was training on one of the schools that's installed. They do it annually, make sure the law enforcement and the staff there know exactly what to do, just like they did with fire drills. It's a wonderful system. We need it in every school. We may not be able to figure out why somebody's crazy enough to go in and kill our innocent children, but we should be prepared for it. And I think 3D response is the way to do that. Jason, by the way, Jason is the patent holder and inventor of this. He developed it over years of being a school resource officer and an officer in general that was tasked to respond to these types of things. But Jason, anything you want to say about your masterpiece, this wonderful thing you've invented?
As an active shooter instructor for many, many years, I refused to teach run, hide, fight after about 2014 because it wasn't working, and it still doesn't work to this day. And so me and my partner, who's also a former SWAT guy, and we were narcotics partners together, we decided to take the response and put it on steroids. So what we did was basically say, when we respond to a call as a police officer, the three things that we are taught from day one is cover, concealment, and communication. And we are not allowing our children to have the tools to respond, or the teachers to have a quick response that you can take a target-rich environment and make it target-less and actually provide the tools that are going to save these children. So our system is cover, which is something that's going to stop a bullet, concealment, I can't see you, and live time communication, which you saw in that video. There's other components in there that aren't in the video. There's some proactive components, but we're just not giving the teachers the tools. And the fire code, it's a multi-layered system that gave the teachers the tools to respond. The leading cause of death in the 1900s was fires. In 1958, the fire code was finally enforced, and there's not been one loss of life to a child in this country in an educational building from a fire. And I think the blueprint's been there, and we didn't plan to kind of copy the fire code, but when we're all said and done, it's a multi-layered system. We also focus on the before prevention. We have over 60 licensed counselors and psychologists that are nationally trained in prevention. If something does happen, our system then comes into play to take your school back as fast as you can. And the big overlook is, if something does happen in your school, how do you respond? Educators are not set up for that. And we've proven time and time again, it will save lives. Uvalde, there's not one child dead. And I could go down the road on that, but I'll shut up for now. But it will save kids' lives.
Sounds like a good system.
Judge, it's 100% a solid system. And really what the SHIELD Act is, what I'm really pushing is that why don't we have a unified code for when it comes to a fire in our school, but we lose more children to gunfire in our school, but we have nothing to it. It's up to some administrative call on the police, and let's hope they respond correctly. But Jason's system not only gives the hardcore tools like protective areas for children to be when a gunfire is going off, but they have forensics psychiatrists that when they have somebody in the school that's acting kind of funny, they can turn it over and have a protocol. Right now, it's protocol where the teacher thinks. They have a regular protocol there and have protocols for afterwards. And I think I stepped on top of Nathan. Did I step on top of you?
I have a question.
Go for it.
Why don't the video, was very thorough, but as a parent, I wouldn't want my child going to school with all that wartime, lockdown stuff. How about just having what do you call it? Metal detectors. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody comes into school with a metal detector and it goes off. What next?
You check them. You check the book bags. You check the purses.
Okay.
Pat them down.
Can I jump in real quick?
Go ahead.
My wife is a reading teacher in 6th grade, and I toured this system last year. You don't even know the system's there. You can't see it. It's not physically visible. So it's not like you're walking into the school and seeing a prison. That's not what it's like at all. My wife's also a prior vet, and our counties do allow our teachers to carry. I wish this system was in her school, 100%.
Okay, so that does change it, because maybe so the commercial is just showing us how it works if something were to happen, but visibly.
Well, actually, Dana, in that video that you saw, there was a lot of things you didn't see. Those walls are ballistic. That door that he went into is ballistic, but you can't tell. But guys, this is the end of our show. I want to give a special thanks to Judge Joe Brown. You have been awesome, sir. Thank you for putting up with our novice production here this evening. But your take is
I liked it. I thought it was great.
I'm glad you did. We might talk about doing this again sometime. You're welcome back anytime, absolutely. But folks, I've got to end it right on top of the hour. We'll have an X space happening on X. Fidgy's got it running now. Anybody wants a personal invite to that, shoot me a DM on that. If you go to my X page, Patreon is active, and until there's some specials running until Wednesday. I'm just starting up the Patreon. I mean, until Sunday. Go to Patreon. You can get on for free right now. And there's also a tip jar there. We're not angry when you do that. There's a little cost to doing it, but we do it out of love. With that, folks, we are going to end the stream. And if you stick in the studio afterwards, I'd like to talk to you for a minute before we go.
Did you ever get any money from Costello?
No.
And did you ever get any money from Meyer Lansky?
I never got money from any of those fellas.
None of those fellas?
None of these that I've been reading about, and none that I knew. They never gave me anything.
None of the Fichettes?
No. I don't even speak to the... I mean, I met that Charlie once or twice. I don't even talk to him.
You don't like him?
I was conscious of the fact that he had a reputation for being an outstanding bookmaker.
Did you hear him referred to as the Prime Minister of the Underworld?
That term I did not.
Also known as Dr. Corella.
I refuse to answer on the grounds of being attempted criminal.
Got any business?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of attempted criminal.
You have any profession?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made attempted criminal.
Have any occupation?
I refuse to answer on the grounds of made attempted criminal.
Are you a known rat?
Voice of one policeman testify for me, sir.
Yes. He alibied you, didn't he?
I beg your pardon?
An incarcerated individual's use of institutional telephones constitutes consent, and your calls may be provided to law enforcement agencies. Thank you for using Securus.